Good evening and welcome to Metro Focus. I'm Jenna Flanagan. The fight for justice is far from over for Eric Garner's family. The NYPD officer whose chokehold is blamed for killing the Staten Island father was fired, but that's not enough for his youngest daughter. Emerald Snipes Garner is now fighting to make it illegal for police departments across the state to use this controversial maneuver. She's calling on New York lawmakers to pass the so-called Eric Garner law. For more on all this, including her efforts to get this bill passed, Emerald Snipes Garner joins us now. Emerald, welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about this legislation that it is that you want to see passed in the state legislature.
We would like to, we're presenting the Eric Garner law, which would make it illegal for chokeholds. Right now, as the case has rolled out since 2014, what they've been saying is that the chokehold is banned and it's not technically illegal. So now what we're asking legislators to do is to make the chokehold illegal. So before my father and after my father, there's been many cases of officers using a chokehold to either bring someone down or, as they call it, a tactical takedown. And it's so unfortunate that some people, like most of the times, people don't make it. And my father was one of the people that didn't make it. And I don't want another Eric Garner in the world because, you know, even like going through the video, I just watched it this year in 2019 during the CCRB trial. This was the first time that I watched the video from start to finish. And it was just like, there was many opportunities to de-escalate, and that wasn't the case from the start to the finish.
As we learned with that trial, that there were some discrepancies, let's say, because some people from the police department were saying, well, this wasn't technically a chokehold, this was more of a...
which they tried to rename it.
Okay.
5 years later, they tried to rename it a seatbelt hold, a arm bar maneuver, and something else they said.
Yeah, something else like that. And basically what it was part of the larger narrative is that police officers are in a position where they're constantly having to make split-second decisions. And so if they need to take down someone or to arrest someone who is resisting arrest, what the police department is saying, that they need to be able to use discretion and use whatever is available to them. I just wanted to get your response to that.
Well, number one, Eric Garner wasn't resisting. So I will continue to say that there was no resistance, because if there was resistance, they would have went through the glass. My father would have stood up on both of his legs and probably fought back the police officers. My father was a licensed boxer. He used to box. So the strength was there. The power was there, and he sufficed once you started to take him down, but you didn't let him go. Once he hit the floor, he was not let go. He was not given medical attention. So for police officers to say that they have to make split decisions, it's just like, what do you decide when someone's life is in danger? So it's like, well, just because you're arresting that person, that means their life don't matter. Like, it does matter. And like, as they said in the trial, there were text messages that said basically that there was a DOA, and the captain said, that's not a big deal. And it's like, it is a big deal when your officer kills someone in broad daylight on the streets with a chokehold. And then 5 years later, like, we've never heard anybody say anything about a seatbelt maneuver, an arm hold until 5 years later. So this is something that they're just coming up with. And the statements from the first day that my father died up until the CCRB, they're not the same. So what they recorded on the day of, and fast forward to 2019, the stories are different. Everything's changed to fit the narrative that the cop is trying to create. And it's like, there's no narrative to create when we saw the video from beginning to end.
For this piece of legislation, the Eric Garner law that's being proposed, first of all, do you have any legislators who are backing it, who are going to be introducing this in Albany?
Hakeem Jeffries is definitely one of the people at the top, and I'm actually working with his office to get some more awareness around the law. And as I've said before, like, if this law is not passed, we're going to have some issues, because we have brought this up years ago. Like, when my father first died, it was, excessive use of force, and now they're calling it the Eric Garner law. And it's like, it's already been shot down once, which is basically a slap in the face, and we're not leaving any room for them to shoot it down again, because like the state of America is at risk. And it's like, just because we fired one officer and one officer got fired, there were multiple other officers involved. There was a lot of cover up. So with this legislation, it's going to cut out the middle person. It's going to cut out that waiting 5 years for the federal government to be involved, waiting 5 years for them to change the name of what happened or try to call it something else. So we want this legislation so that stuff can happen fast. Nobody should be waiting 5 years for a decision.
Okay, so again, and I really just want to be clear about this, because there was so much concern on the part of law enforcement in terms of regulations and terms of how they're able to work, but how would this roll out? How would you see this working? Not just changing the way police officers are able to interact with citizens here in New York City, but across the state, because there's lots of different layers of excessive force, as you were saying.
So not only with Eric Garner law, there's also the Stephen Clark law and the Andrew Kearse law. And Andrew Kearse was a husband of 7 with a wife who was killed in upstate Albany because they neglected to give him medical attention. And his family is also fighting for a bill to be passed for Andrew Kearse and giving medical attention. When people ask for medical attention, you should give them medical attention. Like with my father, he was an asthmatic. When you walk into the emergency room and you say, I'm having an asthma attack or I can't breathe, you're taken straight to the asthma room. You're given oxygen until the doctor can talk to you. You're giving treatment until you're able to be treated. So it's like, when someone is saying that, even if you don't know that they have asthma, if you don't know that they have breathing issues, you should still give them medical attention. You still should give them the attention that you would give your loved one if they were in that situation. Like, they're saying that my father was selling cigarettes and he had all these cigarettes on him. That day, he was not selling cigarettes. He had just broken up a fight. He was already like pretty much out of breath because he was excited about it. And they show footage of my father walking across the street from one location to the location where he died. So it's like these legislations will bring into play that you cannot just kill someone and think that it's okay, because we have to live with that. The family has to deal with that. Like every time that I go and do an interview, every time that I come and talk to you or an anchor or something, I'm reliving the same thing over and over again. And imagine the people that are to come. Like, you're going to keep killing us and we're just going to keep going around singing the same sorry all over again, or just listening to the same sorry and the same condolences. For me personally, I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it's like, like the legislations and the policies and changing the interaction with police and communities, that's what I'm working for. And it's like, growing up, we had an officer friendly. Growing up, we were able to take trips to the police department and we were able to know the police in our neighborhoods. And now they bring these people from other states and not from our neighborhood to come into our neighborhood to police us. And it's like, oh, I was afraid for my life, or I was scared for my life. What about the person who was scared of their life when you were trained to kill? You are trained to kill. You are trained to take a kill shot. You, like, as a police officer, you go through extensive training, and all of that goes out of the window because you were afraid for your life. I'm a social worker. I go to school for social work. And during my training of being a social worker or working with social workers, I had to do cultural sensitivity, how to interact with people. So why aren't police officers taking cultural sensitivity classes when they deal with a plethora of people? So why is it okay for police to ignore our culture? Our culture is that maybe sometimes we are loud. I'm a very loud person personally, but that doesn't mean that I'm being aggressive. I'm a very big person. I'm 6 foot tall. So I'm just as tall as my father. He's a couple of inches taller than me. So just because I get loud, that means that I'm a threat now. You're in fear of your life. So they use those terms to get them out of situations and pretty much get off. Pantaleo walked around for 5 years. The police, Pat Lynch never thought that Pantaleo was going to be fired. And that's why his reaction was the way that it was. He didn't think, oh, how dare they fire my officer for killing someone? That's his reaction. How dare you? And that's unacceptable.
Well, let me ask you one more question about the legislation. So, should this get passed, what is the most important piece of it? Is it the consequences that officers face, or is it the fact that something is now made illegal and there's some sort of repercussion or something that happens, or is it something for the families? What is it that you really want to see happen with this?
Everything is accountability. Like, for me, growing up, it's all about accountability. You take responsibility for the actions. If somebody died within your care, you should be held accountable. Like, you are the person who is arresting this civilian. This civilian dies in your custody. You should take accountability. You should be terminated immediately, especially if there's a video from the beginning to the end showing that you, like, not trying to justify what you did. Like, if you would have came out and said, it's very unfortunate and blah, 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 like, you hide behind representatives, you hide behind your union, and it's not right. So with these laws and with these legislations, police will be held accountable. For me, it's all about accountability. And if you're not held accountable, then you're just free to walk around and murder someone else.
I want to turn a little bit now to your family. You mentioned the fact that, like, every time you talk about this, you relive it. Unfortunately, we saw that you lost your sister not that long ago. And I'm wondering, what is just the constant reliving of all of this and still the fighting for justice as your family sees it? What's that toll been like?
I feel like for me, activism killed my sister because my sister never had no heart issues. She never had any of this. And during her pregnancy with my nephew, she developed preeclampsia. I don't really talk about her medical condition, but I feel like now it's important for me to let people know what happened. She had heart issues after my nephew was born. She had 2 heart attacks before she died. The last heart attack was fatal. And, it's a lot of being in your inner thoughts. Like, my sister watched the video of my father multiple times, and I was like, Erica, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. And then she was just so angry all the time. So I could stop watching it because it's going to make you angry. It's going to make you want to do more, and that you can't do, or it's going to make you feel something that you want to feel. So I felt like she went into a state of depression. Like, we weren't getting no justice. We haven't heard anything from the Department of Justice. We haven't heard anything from, anybody, nobody about the law, nobody about this, nobody about that. And it's like she just got real sad and just started falling into a depression. And the last heart attack that she had, she ended up in a coma, and then shortly after she passed away. And this happened on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then my birthday was on the 28th. Like, they were saying that she wasn't gonna make it past the 28th. And I was like, Erica, you gotta get up. Like, you can't just leave me. Like, you're gonna leave me in the middle of all of this? Like, you started all this work? Like, how am I supposed to continue this? So I honestly say that activism killed my sister. And I would say that because she was so emotionally caught up into everything that she wasn't taking care of herself. Mental health is important. And I feel like my mental health was at risk, and her mental health was at risk. And ultimately, she's no longer here with us. So that's why after she passed away, I didn't do much. I just took the kids and just started to get them into a normal routine, getting back into school and actually living without your mother. I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what that feels like to grow up without a mother and father. I don't know.
Well, just for clarification for the audience's sake, when you say take the kids, these are your nieces and nephews?
My niece and nephew.
Your niece and nephew. How many kids are in your care? Exactly.
How many kids
are you taking care of?
She's 7. She was 2 when my father passed away, and Alyssa was 4. So EJ.
Alyssa was your niece.
Alyssa was my niece.
Okay.
So Alyssa and EJ, his name is Eric Julian. So Alyssa was born in 2009. So she was 5 when my father passed away, and then EJ was born in 2017 in August, and then Erica died in December. So Erica died 4 months after she had the youngest baby. So he was 4 months when he came to me. So when she went into the hospital and it started to look like, that she wasn't gonna make it, that's when we had a meeting, and everybody was like, Emerald, you should take the kids. And I'm just like, take the kids? Like, what do you mean? My daughter is 7, I gotta go back to Pampers.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm still dealing with emotional stuff. Like, I had to do my sister's funeral. Like, that was very hard for me. Like, my mother didn't do anything. I did it. I did everything. So it was really, really hard for me. So it's like, it was just like taking in the children. It was like everything was impulsive. Like, I was like, I can't let them go in the system. We was in foster care. I can't let them go with people who, claimed they was Erica's friends and they wasn't really her friends. Like, so I just felt like them being with me was the best option. And then having to relive what was going on TV. That's why I closed out the media and everybody from the funeral. I shut it down. Like, you weren't allowed to use your phone. You weren't allowed to record. You couldn't take no pictures of her in the casket. Like, that was just taken out because of what I went through with my father. Like, when I went through everything with my father, it was so fast. Oh, go here to do an interview. Go there to do an interview. Go here to do an interview. And it was just like, I don't have time for me. So when my sister passed away, I did very minimal media. I really didn't do anything. I was just going to work, coming home, taking care of the kids. And it's like, people don't understand that mental strain that it takes on you. Like, you're sitting on the train and people are talking about, oh, well, Eric Garner resisted, and oh, they shouldn't have did this, and oh, they shouldn't have did that. And I'm just like people don't realize what they say and who's around them, and I have to listen to it.
Okay, well, my final 2 questions. And first of all, I want to address your T-shirt here, just so that everybody sees it.
Yes.
It's your father, I Can't Breathe.
My father's high school picture with I Can't Breathe on top of it. This was actually created by a young girl named Ocean. She was in high school at the time. Now she's a college graduate. Congratulations, Ocean.
Oh, okay.
And she made this T-shirt. I was going to the huddle at NAN, and that's Ashley Sharpton's program that she has every Monday. And after my father died, I started going there because I was like, I need to find my voice. I need to find something to do. I was like, I know I can't go out and protest because I always got my daughter. I can't take her everywhere I go, but the huddle was somewhere I could go. So the girl made the shirt and bring it to huddle. Like, I made these shirts for you. The money that she raised, she put it back into making more shirts and stuff like that. And now we have our T-shirt line coming out. We have pretty much, I want to call it protest gear, because that's what my sister was calling her clothing line. She wanted to call it protest gear. So what I'm doing is making different T-shirts, wristbands, just so people can know. And I'm actually changing the I Can't Breathe to We Can't Breathe. Okay. Because we lost two of my family members, so it's We Can't Breathe.
Unfortunately, so my final question, and most importantly, is given everything that your family's been through, How are you taking care of yourself, especially taking care of 3 babies?
It is super hard. I am stressed out. I am working through it. The kids are crazy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. They keep me on my toes. We do a lot of yelling. We do a lot of family meetings. We talk between the 3 of us because EJ don't talk. He just say right now. So, but with my niece and my daughter, I try to like keep an open, open table. If you don't like something, say something. Like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, who you talking to? But then I'll be like, remember, this is an open space. You guys can say whatever you want to say. So we getting through it. Like, I mean, I bit off more than I could chew. I do, but I get help.
I think that's like the question is, yes, do you have help? Do you have a network or something of people who are supporting you?
I have some people helping me. My friend, Mousy, I won't tell her real name, but everybody calls her Mousy. She watches EJ for me until I can find some daycare for him because all the daycares are full. I'm going to be looking into daycare, so if there's any in Harlem that have space for a 2-year-old, let me know.
Okay.
But I get a lot of help from my friends and my family, and National Action Network. I could take Kaylee and let the kids run around. I can take Kaylee, EJ, and Alyssa. Like when we go, they can come with me. So that's the best part of going to NAN is being able to take the kids.
All right. Well, listen, Emerald, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for opening up about your life and all of your loss, and of course the work that you're doing to try to get the Eric Garner law passed. We'll be following the story very closely.
Thank you.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.